I'm 95 years old. Over the last 6 decades, I have shared my home, my food, and my heart with more than 20 cats. And today, I see young people making the exact same tragic, heartbreaking mistakes with their cats that I made in my youth. Mistakes so small, so innocent, that you would never think they could slowly steal years from a cat's life. I say this with a heavy chest and tired bones, because one of those mistakes cost me a companion I loved more than some people I have known. And if you are listening to me now, I beg you to stay until the end, because there is something about a simple water bowl, a tiny detail in your home, that could change your cat's future starting today. You see, when I was a young man full of confidence and stubborn pride, I believed that love alone was enough. I fed my cats good food, I gave them warm beds, and I thought I was doing everything right. I would place their shiny metal food bowl on the kitchen floor, and right next to it, I would put their water bowl. It felt logical, neat, and convenient. Food here, water there, just like we humans eat and drink at the same table. I remember standing there, hands on my hips, admiring my tidy arrangement, thinking, my cats are lucky to have me. But there was one thing that kept bothering me, like a tiny stone stuck in my shoe. My cat, a gentle gray tabby named Misty, rarely drank water. She would nibble her food happily, lick her lips, and then walk away from the water bowl as if it didn't exist. Sometimes she would stare at it for a long moment, sniff it, and leave. Other times she would wander into the bathroom and jump onto the sink, meowing softly, begging for the tap to be turned on. I thought she was just being picky, dramatic, maybe even a little spoiled. I wish someone had told me this 40 years ago. I wish someone had grabbed my shoulders and said, old fool, your cat is not being difficult. She is trying to survive. You see, deep inside every house cat lives the memory of the wild. Even the softest, laziest cat sleeping on your couch carries instincts that are thousands of years old. In the wild, water found near food, especially near a dead animal, can be dangerous. It can be contaminated, filled with bacteria, poison, or decay. So cats evolved to be cautious. They learned to look for water far away from their prey, in a clean and separate place. That instinct never left them, not even after centuries of living beside humans. But I didn't know that back then. I thought I knew everything. One summer, Misty started losing weight. Slowly at first, so slowly that I convinced myself it was nothing. She's just getting older, I would say. Cats change. But then her fur lost its shine. Her eyes looked tired. She slept more than usual. And the water bowl next to her food remained almost full, day after day, week after week. I remember the night it all became real. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your heart uneasy. Misty tried to jump onto the couch beside me, but her legs trembled. She slipped, fell gently onto the floor, and looked up at me with confusion in her eyes. Not pain, confusion, as if she didn't understand why her body had betrayed her. That was the moment fear finally broke through my stubbornness. At the veterinarian's office the next morning, the smell of antiseptic filled the air. The doctor spoke gently, but his words felt like heavy stones dropping into my chest. He told me Misty was severely dehydrated. Her kidneys were struggling. She hadn't been drinking enough water for a long time. I remember whispering, almost defensively, but her water bowl is always full. And the doctor looked at me, not with anger, not with judgment, but with a kind of sad understanding. He asked me a question I will never forget. Where do you keep her water? I answered proudly. Right next to her food, so she can eat and drink easily. He sighed, a long, quiet sigh that still echoes in my memory. Then he explained what I am telling you now. Cats often avoid drinking water that sits close to their food, not because they are stubborn, not because they are spoiled, but because their ancient instincts tell them that water near food might be unsafe. So they drink less, much less, and over months or years, that quiet dehydration can damage their kidneys, their bladder, their entire body. I felt my face grow hot with shame. All those years I thought I was caring for her perfectly. All those years she had been silently adapting to my mistake. When we returned home that afternoon, I did something so simple, So unbelievably simple that it still makes my eyes sting when I think about it. I picked up her water bowl and carried it into the living room, far away from her food. I placed it in a quiet corner, near the window where sunlight touched the floor. Misty walked slowly across the room, her steps careful and tired. She paused in front of the new water bowl, sniffed it, and then, for the first time in months, she began to drink. Long, steady gulps. The sound of her tongue lapping the water felt louder than thunder to me. It was the sound of relief, and the sound of my own heart breaking at the same time. I stood there, an adult man, tears rolling down my cheeks, whispering, "I'm sorry." She did get better for a while. She regained some strength, her fur softened again, and she even chased a toy mouse across the floor one afternoon, just like she used to. But the damage had already been done. Years of quiet dehydration had left scars inside her tiny body that love alone could not erase. And one cold winter morning, as the sun struggled to rise through the frosted window, Misty slipped away in her sleep, peacefully, gently, but far too soon. That was the day I made a promise to every cat that would ever enter my home, a promise born from regret, from guilt, and from love. I promised that I would listen more carefully to their behavior, respect their instincts, and never again assume that convenience for me meant comfort for them. So when I see young cat owners today placing water bowls right beside food bowls, I feel that old ache in my chest. I want to reach through the screen and gently move that bowl myself, not because I want to criticize you, but because I want to protect your cat from the mistake that still haunts my memories. Move their water bowl right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Place it in a separate room, or at least several steps away from their food. Choose a quiet place where they feel safe. And if you really want to go one step further, give them more than one water station around the house. Cats love options. They love control. It makes them feel secure. You might think this is a small detail, a tiny adjustment, but in the long story of a cat's life, small details become big consequences. I am 95 now. My hands shake when I hold a cup of tea. My hearing is not what it used to be, and many of the cats I loved are only memories now, soft paw prints on the fragile pages of my past. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear the faint echo of Misty drinking from that bowl in the living room, and I wonder how many more years we might have shared if I had understood her sooner. That is why I am speaking to you today with urgency in my voice and love in my heart, because you still have time. Your cat is still beside you, breathing softly, trusting you completely. They cannot explain their needs in words. They rely on you to notice the quiet signals, the small behaviors, the ancient instincts that guide them. So please, after this video ends, stand up, walk to where your cat's bowls are, look at them carefully, and if that water bowl is sitting next to the food, pick it up and move it. Do it as an act of love. Do it as a promise to protect the little life that depends on you. And then go find your cat. Bend down slowly, stroke their fur, hold them close to your chest for a moment longer than usual. Feel the warmth of their body, the gentle rhythm of their breathing. These moments pass faster than we ever expect. I do not have many years left to share my stories. My voice is growing softer with time. But if my old memories helped you today, if my mistakes saved your cat from suffering, then stay with me. Walk this final stretch of the road beside me. Listen to the lessons written in the paw prints of the cats I loved. Now go. Hug your cat right now.